can we have like a almost like a daily operation where we talk about the new Nigeria being possible, so people can see it from different angles. You can see it from a different point of view. You can see it from a personal point of view, from a collective point of view. It's just so that people have that alignment, and then they can build on it for when things come to fruition. I really don't want it to be like me just talking. So it's really us just engaging, really. Um, Anybody who wants to join the conversation, please request the mic, and let's just have a conversation about what is coming, the mindset of people, what you think about things, and how you think about things, and then we can take it from there. So it's more or less open mic, just to talk about the new Nigeria being possible. But I personally feel it starts with a decision, and what that decision is, we might unravel it as we are talking. But yeah, so that is the key thing about this sessions going forward. So, Chris, Nasa, if you guys are okay, we can have that conversation.
Yeah, thank you so much, Solomon. I would like to kickstart this conversation because it's something that I hold so dear in my heart. I also take a clue from what you said. A lot of our shortcomings have been said. We all know them. Even the least man in our society already know the problems, Nigerians and Nigeria is facing. And to keep dwelling in it also means fueling it and giving it more power to expand. The more what people hear every day is what they believe. What they believe is what they become. And what they become is what they will produce. So it is high time we begin to build a different narrative. And I also love the way you ended this. You say it starts with a decision. The new Nigeria is possible, but it starts with a decision. A decision to do what? A decision to do what is right. And I want to kick off this conversation, with some questions. Imagine a Nigeria where Nigerians believe in Nigeria. Nigerians are not ready to give thought to any idea that suppresses citizenship or that does not help or add value to their society. Imagine a Nigeria where we have good leaders who are willing to do what is right, who are willing to utilize the resources of the country for the benefit of their society. Imagine that is the kind of Nigeria we have. Imagine a Nigeria who is utilizing its workforce for productivity rather than depend on oil cells that will be distributed, across the country when resources are wasting. Imagine a Nigeria that is working and we have infrastructures, everything is going on well for us. The question is this Nigeria possible? We all know the answer. It is possible. Very, very possible. It's something we can all achieve. But unfortunately, why is this gap still there? If we're able to crack this question, why is this gap still there? I think that will be the basis for our next decisions and then actions that we need to take as quickly as possible. So these gaps are there because a people have no reason. Citizens have no reason to provide the necessary requirements that will build a nation, beginning from the leaders to the citizens. Why I say that? Because I know that a lot of people may question my assertion by saying they are not leaders and they cannot do anything. But that is not true. Even recent times we have realized that we could do something. The little we did in this last election is the reason why we are still having hope in courts. If we had done nothing, I'm not sure there's anything to fight for or anything to look up to. So, but the fact is that for a long time, we have not done much. We've not taken a stand. We've not stood up for our nation. We've not been able to do those things, to understand our responsibilities. We easily give up. at any appearance of, things that are labeled against us. Sometimes we're not ready to give all that we have, to insist on the right thing, because the wrongs have been taken over, because people with the wrong motives are insisting that is what must happen. And most times we say, okay, it's their own thing. No matter what I do, nothing will change. So we allow them, and it's been on and on. Like we say, we don't want to dwell on all of that. But the truth about it is our realization that Nigeria is going to work. Nigeria has the potential to work. We also, as Nigerians, have what it takes to take Nigeria to the heights that we want her to be. So I want to share, that a new Nigeria will become possible if we understand and embrace our civic responsibilities. Every citizen has a civic responsibility for his country. We have that duty to defend our country, to defend the integrity of Nigeria, to stand for Nigeria, to do all that we can to ensure that we don't hate a country whose identity we carry, irrespective of anything. That is the first duty of a citizen. But a new Nigeria is possible if we show sincerity, determination, and commitment to national issues. If we show sincerity. Today, we are divided along ethnic lines, and those ethnic lines come with their lies, with their inferior ideas. Yet, we are not sincere as a people. So, to fix it, if we become sincere, if we are determined and we are committed towards national issues, today everybody can talk well about his own people. The Igbos defending their territory, the Hausas defending their territory, the Yoruba defending their territory, the Chakuris defending their territory, But are we defending the common interest of Nigeria? So these are the questions that we need to answer. It's possible. So a new Nigeria is possible. The question there is that we are not doing certain things. And these are some of the things we're enumerating here. A new Nigeria is possible if we have a people-oriented constitution that promotes true fiscal federalism and respect the right of Nigerians through entrenching the principle of democracy. This is the truth. We know that the constitution we have now is not working. And sometimes someone can say from afar, this constitution should be changed. The question I keep asking, who is going to change this constitution? Is it that we don't have people in National Assembly? Is it that we don't have people who would have come up to change the constitution since Nigeria began this democracy about 22 years ago? Is it that we don't have that? The answer is no. We have a people who are capable of changing the status quo. But why have they not done it? It's because they've not become true citizens. They do not yet have what it takes to be citizens, not to talk of leaders. But somehow they found themselves in leadership position. And what do you think they could do when they've not learned anything? So how do we go about this very aspect of our expectation, to change the constitution of Nigeria? Is that you and I, those people, those coming young people now, will now need to unlearn and relearn, see the negative effects that what we have gone through has, brought against us as a people, and then take a decision not to allow it to continue. Then I also say that a new Nigeria is possible if we support national growth and improved leadership phenomenon for continuity. Today, we are seeing before our eyes people who are incompetent, buying their way, enforcing themselves on leadership, and Nigerians are saying no. This is not what we want. No matter what, we must stand. We shouldn't give up. A lot of people are beginning to give up just because what they expected did not come true. But that is not the way to go. You must believe to the least. There's no giving up on this fight. It's a total faith and belief and standing. That is the victory. That is the victory point we are all waiting for. But they said, he who stay and run. If you run, then another person will take your space. But when you stand where you are standing, it's very difficult for another person to come to take that position. So we must stand for what we believe, for what we know. Like a lot of Nigerians say, we came, we voted, and they stole our mandate. And this, we must stand on our mandates. A thief cannot be proud, while the owner of what was stolen will shy away. That thief will continue to be relevant as far as to shy away. So we cannot shy away. We must continue to stand on what we believe is true. And there's no way one day what is due us will not be given to us. Again, a new Nigeria is possible if we shun corruption, injustice, and those things that cause frustration and disenchantment to the citizens. Now, these politicians, bad ones, these charlatans, they come up with a lot of narratives to tell us that there is difference between Igbos and Yorubas. Like the recent one, somebody was saying now the South and the North have come into agreement, is working for them. So what happened to other ones? What are we saying to ourselves? And somebody will be listening to that man and then feel that the man has spoken and the man is speaking the mind of the people. What the man is saying, is it the right thing? Is it what will move the nation forward? Does the person look like someone whose mind is sane enough? So it's high time we get to that point where we discountenance anything that does not add value to what we want to see. No matter their position, no matter what they're standing. Even as a president of Nigeria, if what you are doing is against the progress of Nigeria, then you are not a leader. You are not a president. Because leadership is to provide, is to take responsibilities for whatever that is wrong. So if you become a leader who now do not take responsibility, rather you are bringing in more challenges and more problems, are you a leader? So we should begin to define this and then decide that certain things shouldn't give us a nightmare anymore. That somebody is saying this is the way Nigeria will go, and we know it's the wrong thing. It shouldn't shake me, because I know that falsehood can never stand. No matter how long it stands, one day that the truth will show up, falsehood will go. A new Nigeria is possible if the South-South, South-East, South-West, North-South, North-Central, and North-East, these 6 geopolitical zones, see themselves as one indivisible entity that must stand by one another. Our predecessors have shown us a different thing. They've told us Nigeria cannot work. Nigeria is divided along ethnic lines. The new generation of Nigeria, the new Nigerians must wake up to say, no, we are not divided. We are one Nigeria. We believe in ourselves and do it. We want to love ourselves. We want to do things that will make us work. Then the new Nigeria is possible if we build functional bridges across our political and socio-economic platforms for enhanced societal development. Yes, we know that we all came from different social platforms, different political platforms, but we must harmonize the Nigerian interests and let it become a unifying factor for everyone. In the heart of every Nigerian is this heartbeat for a new Nigeria, whether you are APC, PDP, or otherwise. The only reason why some people are going up and down is that there's nothing to hold on to that is this new Nigeria. They are not seeing anything that can actually bind them together. The one that showed up, a little that showed up, you see how a lot of people follow through. When somebody like Peter Obi showed up, he was speaking the language of a new Nigerian. You could see the exodus of people who migrated from where they were. Those who were sleeping woke up just because one man. So imagine if we're able to carve out a Nigerian behavior, attitude, a Nigerian culture, a new Nigerian culture that will now begin to permeate into our mindset and begin to change our concept about life. What this nation will become in just a year. In less than a year, Peter Obi did what he did. In less than 6 months, if we provide a reason for people to believe that they can be new Nigerians, it's going to change a lot of things. The new Nigeria is possible if leaders are elected on the basis of competence and character. Imagine if our vote counted in 2000, our vote, the election of February 25th. The mandate has been given to us. By now, we'll be singing a new song because we know that the person who won that election is competent and is ready to serve Nigeria. So it's possible. The only reason it's not possible is that we've not gotten a leader who is capable, who have competence to give us what we deserve. A new Nigeria is possible if there are no barriers to the accessibility of available resources, so that opportunities are evenly distributed. Today we have opportunities wasting away because we have leaders without brain who do not even see those opportunities, who prefer to go outside Nigeria to build houses and to live there, to send their children to those places. Meanwhile, opportunities are wasting away. A new Nigeria will become possible if we understand that these opportunities that are wasting away, that we have the people, we have the human capital capable of taking care and utilizing them into productivity and bringing Nigeria out of this poverty line. A new Nigeria is possible if religion and ethnicity are not determinant to the ascendancy to office. A new Nigeria will become possible if part of the things they said they don't want P2B to be president is because he came from a particular place. And you can imagine that Nigerians are deprived of good leadership because somebody who could provide it is from another place. Can you see that mentality? These are the things sold to us. These are the things we cannot take anymore. These are the things this new generation cannot accept because there's no sincerity in it. There's nothing good about those decisions. And a new Nigeria is possible if we seek and promote the collective interest of the nation before that of our state, before that of our local government, before that of our community, before our family. Why I'm saying that is because when Nigeria is okay, when Nigeria is functioning well, it will help any state that is not strong to become strong. And when the state is strong, it will help local governments to become strong. So rather than beginning to pay too much attention like we used to be to personal aggrandizement, personal wealth, and leaving our society porous, it is high time we look at the Nigerian fact. If we all focus on the new Nigerian fact to get it right, the energy we all deploy in this sense will make a great meaning and will bring the revival that we've been seeking for. I have to yield my mic because I know we are counting time. And as time goes on, I will also come in to share more on this line of thoughts. Thank you so much.
Hi, Chris. Thanks for that. I'm glad the way you laid it out in terms of possibilities, because there's been a lot of downers within the last couple of weeks. A lot of Nigerians have been down and I'll say borderline confused about many things. This is why we looked at the opportunity. We spoke about this earlier. I spoke with Les about this as well. How do we now start engaging people who are uncertain about what is coming? How do we best approach the mindset of Nigerians like us who are unsure? And you can't really blame them because been too much. The deceit has been too much. So Nigerians get to a place where there's a case in court and some people are worried that it's going to be business as usual. But the majority of us who know that that's not the case, how do we start reaching out like we're doing now to help change that narrative? This is why technically I think it starts with a decision and how we amplify people to make the decision to believe. If I listen to the creed you guys have out, I think one of the first ones is first we must believe it's possible. Or believing in something is actually a decision, isn't it? If you're going to believe something, you have to decide to believe it because there are other options out there to believe. So you make a choice, you make a conscious decision there. So that decisive mindset is what I think we can maybe play out among ourselves. People, when they listen, they'll have a clear understanding of how diverse our goals are, but how unifying it can be as well. So I don't know if anybody wants to speak on that. I think you just unmute your mic and speak because we're here to just engage, discuss
on this line of thoughts. Thank you so much.